You guys still here? Would it be okay for us to do number 8?
Works for me.
Is that
Yep, that makes sense. There's certainly a lot of connections.
There's a lot of connections.
So you would also suggest talking about future, or at least initiating the future. No matter how they're all connected in your mind or
not. They're super. So because starting in the middle of the year, it was very clear that Crystal was in this attendance supervisor, whatever we want to call it, role, was really having a big impact. And I started looking for preference to have some sort of continued and even enhanced role. This is something that I put in my report that I did in, and it was amazing because till we had fundraised for an additional, basically, social worker, the person who was a school adjustment counselor didn't have time to do anything but the services that were mandated on students' IEPs. So there was no time for social studies groups. There was no time for meeting with families. There was no time for doing counseling or therapy with anyone that didn't have an IEP. So, I had a much bigger school than this in Cambridge. There were so many students who needed support. So we were able to fundraise and have a permanent position for a person that was doing it. So based on all these experiences, Faye and I have been looking for money. And I think Thursday, we just found out that we won just about $50,000 for the beginning to launch Central. So there's an organization called Bright, which you've heard me talk about before, because they're sort of the leaders in terms of mental health in the state. Our governor, Maura Healey, is a huge fan of Bright and gave them $10 million to seed positions such as the one that I'm talking about. Then, in addition to what I've been explaining, they are also overseeing students who are in crisis. So, Bright programs traditionally have been in high schools across the state. If a student has a significant sports injury and isn't able to come to school, the person who's overseeing the Bright classroom make sure that they're getting their work at home, helps with the transition back into school. Similarly, if a student is demonstrating suicidality, is having some sort of mental health crisis, or it's sort of like a holding place that's between the home and the school, with the goal of eventually getting the student fully reintegrated. So, Bright has an elementary version, and certainly we've had a lot of students in crisis, even just in these 3 years. Students whose parents have passed away, who've lost other close relatives, were having suicidal tendencies, we're having some sort of mental health crisis where we've done our best to, give whatever support that we could to having a person who is sort of overseeing the care for a student who's in crisis would be amazing. And given how busy the student adjustment counselor is, because legally they have to be serving those students without things, they just don't necessarily have time to be overseeing. So anyway, we've envisioned a new position, which I'm bringing forward for your vote tonight. It's called Family Liaison / Bright Coordinator. And what this person would do is 4 different things.
Would do what?
They would do 4 separate, they'd have 4 responsibilities. One, if there was a student who was in crisis, they would oversee whatever their needs might be. Do they need some tutoring? Do they need some extra counseling? What is it they need in overseeing that piece? Second, they would just be another social worker in the school to do the million things that these kids, 67.8% of kids are requiring that follow up for social emotion, whether it's therapy or some sort of social skills group, whatever it is that we're doing. The piece that we've been talking about with the attendance, meeting with families and seeing what it is that those families need. This, just since we had Crystal doing this, she has connected families with SNAP benefits, helped kids get classes, helped with transportation, helping to internet. She helps with things like heating, vouchers. So that would be the third piece. Then the fourth and final piece would be overseeing the sort of preschool administrative piece that's incredibly complex. And like that's involved in getting families vouchers to pay for the preschool and making sure that we're remaining in line with the requirements of these. So that's the role that we have envisioned. Great is given us. And for the first half of the year for this position, including benefits, so there would be no cost to the town.
How much was that you said?
I think it's 49.
It doesn't have to be exact, just so about 50,000, and that's for a grant, for half a year, or for half a year? Half a year being like every other day spread out, or half a year like the X number of months first?
So it would have this person be full time for the set of the shuffle. What we're hoping to do, hopefully by the end of this summer, is have another grant at seed prevention of the last event. So this account will come in, and then we can continue to fund this position.
So school starts in, let's say September, in December, that's only 4 months. This is a 6-month position. Are they coming in over the summer or something, or what's the other 2 months?
Some additional money to set up the space so that she would have space for the students.
Like before school opens, or?
No, just decide to set up the office, have some furniture. There's some
Got it.
there's some additional money to set up this house.
I thought you meant on site for 6 months. I misunderstood.
Well, half the school year, I think.
Yeah, or half a school year.
Yeah, as opposed to half a
4
year.
Not, yeah,
Yeah.
And I think actually the halfway point is sometime like January or something.
Yeah.
Is it February?
February.
This particular conference is December 31st.
Okay.
So, what I would propose to do to open this new position, was just for 6 months or just until we know that we have the funds. Hopefully, the rest of those funds would come in this summer and then be permanently coming in as long as we have this preschool program up and running well. To see if we should just be continuing. So basically what I'm asking for you to support is the opening of this new position. Paralegal / big coordinator. We would post for just until the grant ran out. And we wouldn't, I mean, I'm very hopeful and confident we'll have a continuation, but we wouldn't be asking any funding from the town for either the salary. That's for this position.
Where would the office be set up?
So we have a couple of ideas. One idea is to reimagine this space that's like in the wall that nobody ever uses. Or maybe setting up a space right outside of the current counselor's office there. The special education room is rather big. And we went visited another great program yesterday in New Salem. They had sort of a big classroom, like divided into different parts. So
Okay, and just, if we're creating a position, what does that stand for? BRYT.
it is
Is
supposed
that
to
here?
It's a bridge for affiliate youth and transition.
thank you.
Thank you.
I can never.
And would this person also be the
I didn't see
attendance
it.
supervisor?
It's in the last, it's on the, it's pretty clear. It's right here.
Thanks so
Oh.
much.
The award amount was $49,706.50.
Thank
So I will say, I totally support this position. I suppose my two asks would, one would be, once we choose a person, just to assure them that there would be at least some funding for attendance supervisor to continue. Because I know you've got some very, and I'm with you. I'm confident the other money will come in, but just because this isn't the person we're relying on, to say that even if none of the other grant funds come in, if we're gonna need to pay somebody to continue to do attendance supervision, to at least have a sense, to quantify what that would be, and have it be that their right of first refusal,
Yeah,
if for some reason that whole time thing.
Yeah, sure.
Oh, if it might have to go from this full-time position to a part-time position, just doing the attendance supervisor.
Exactly. You know, whatever it is that we would need to spend to continue it on,
Yeah.
that we give them the right of first refusal, not just so that there's that sense of security, because I think that sense of security for some.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, no, a job description.
yes, that was the other, so you have a job description for tonight?
We can.
Well, wouldn't we want to know the job description before we vote on the position? I don't.
I can, it's up to you.
Yeah, I mean, I would love to see it. I don't feel like I need to see it in order to vote. That's my perspective, but if anybody wants to see it, by all means,
Why
look at
don't
it.
we do it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's see, and could this go with the process? Thank you.
Now we can.
Yes. Yeah, that'd be good.
Now she has to do is punch a button here.
It's very easy. Like flowers, and then. Probably go.
I just want to avoid, we voted for position, we didn't have the specifics of what they were doing, it's just, we might have a more enthusiastic vote. To see the benefits.
Mhm. Well, and yeah,
Yeah.
and know that it's well thought out.
Yeah.
Not just trust that it's well thought out, which we usually can do also.
So this is not. It's closed, right? Well. Okay. Copies. I'll just. Thanks.
All right. Yeah,
Let's do post.
sounds great. Yeah.
This would not be, well, oversee supporting student in crisis. So would this position sometimes include some counseling of students in crisis?
Astro.
So counseling is a part of it.
Counseling student.
And then, yeah, so then my curiosity would be the coordination between the school counselor and this position, those two people. You know, I know Toby and Crystal collaborate with each other a lot this year, confer with each other, but I don't know if that's in your job description or not, but it seems like that's.
Hopefully. Like you see it independent, they get us just let me know, I can build it in, works.
Yeah, so basically we have a school counselor and we have a social worker who's capable of counseling.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yes.
And that, we can't really do anything about this piece, but, if I had a concern, it would be, we have someone come in and they're really filling a void and there's, you know, a wonderful result and then they're gone. And then we notice that they're gone because we saw the benefit of it. So That's a risk,
Yeah. Yeah.
but that wouldn't stop me from supporting it. Just to be aware.
Yeah, well, that's an interesting, because I would have thought that you might hold the position of that we should support this until the funding is
No,
percent in
no.
place, but you're like,
No, it's gonna be contingent upon funding. I assume the motion is gonna be contingent upon funding.
right, right.
Well, it's gonna be a position
It's gonna have a final date unless
that's
there's
gonna
additional
have,
funding.
yes,
Say that
The
again.
front of it,
Final date unless there's additional funding.
yes.
So it's not.
Yeah,
It's not,
exactly.
Renewing
not,
past December
it's
31st.
not unfunded after a certain date.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should do December
Yes, of course.
David, I just wanna say, either say anything about this business that we have because
Or
importance, your feelings about the idea of this role.
let's see. Do you want a minute to look at the job description? Visiting, this was Swift River Elementary School in Salem. And visiting their setup and talking with the two folks who take the lead on this work. Reminded me of how early we are in the process of building this school. And how early in the process of creating the structures that are really effective about meeting all kids' needs. I really appreciated that they were kind of articulating the types of things they're doing. A lot of the things that we are working on building, like I gave the data about the MTSS systems and about mental health. This is the structures in place around making sure that kids are getting what they need in terms of mental health during the day and at specific times during the day by people that they really trust and in a place that they feel good. And having that be all coordinated is something that I am aspiring to. And sometimes I can forget that we're still in a building process. And if we're not meeting the kids' need right away, I feel frustrated. I'm like, okay, we do better than this. And I feel like the proactive sense about what this job description describes or how it articulates that we are planning for what we know families need based on their experience and based on the data. I just think this is a very strong step in this school to really being able to provide excellent education for the kids.
Does Swift River have a dedicated confidential space carved out?
Yeah, they have a full, large, kindergarten sized classroom.
Dedicated for them?
This is they had for years, they called it the Learning Center, so they called it TLC.
Yeah.
And they have converted it to their bright, they still call it TLC. I know.
And you're living there, yeah.
Yeah.
So they have a whole.
They have a whole room for it, and they have a much more kind of sophisticated system even than what Carol described in that there are certain students who qualify for bright services because of their life context and because of the amount of intervention required by the adults. And so then there's a process to become kind of embedded into the bright program so that we're not rolling over the procedural safeguards that are part of the special education unit. And that they have a whole group of kids that they call their bright light kids, who are kids who haven't gone through all that process, but are still needing some support. So they have more of a tier 2 level of support where they are those kids can come in and have a break and they have snacks and they have space to chill. And I loved how much the providers describe this balance between love and making sure kids get what they need and high expectations for academics and behavior. So if a student needed to leave a classroom for a particular reason because they were having trouble being there and being dysregulated, they were in tight communication with the classroom teacher so that the student could go to this space relax, real, to be regulated, and then still do the academic work that they might have missed it because they were out of the classroom. And similarly, they coordinate their licensed counselors, so they also coordinate all kinds of restorative justice. So they were talking about how they like part of their mantra is that we do every repair every time a kid does something like this related to mental health or social emotional learning that harms a person or a thing, that make sure that they do follow up with that. And I really appreciate that. I feel like that's like we were talking actively as a faculty about moving towards using a more cohesive response to kids, breaking rules or like conflict that happens, and embracing the concept of restorative practice and restorative justice. And I felt like what we saw at Swift River communicating that they were really doing those things in a robust way that I aspire to.
So they didn't meet with parents or others during the duty. Or did that, was that like?
There's a sense that they were with families during the day. They were certainly in communication with families.
Yes.
And they talked about kind of the ratio of family communication based on student need. So they talked about a general education student might have family communication 2 to 4 times a month from a classroom teacher. Whereas one of their bright students might be in communication every week or every day or every maybe twice a day, that type of thing.
Mhm.
And so I appreciated that. Again, like the level of precision around what's the need and what's our adult support response.
Right, and this isn't necessarily, kids don't have to have bad attendance to get pulled into this.
No,
Yeah,
that's
not
so
linked
good,
to that.
yeah.
Yeah,
I think
it's
one of
wider
the
than
things that I really like about this, so everything that I just kind of said there
Yeah.
was based on my experience at Swift River, which was us seeing their bright program.
Mhm.
This position that we're talking
Yeah.
about is actually goes beyond that. Because we need this kind of cohesive piece. There's a lot of pieces that are about attendance and about direct support and support and this idea of the helping oversee the early childhood implementation is another piece that like we need to see.
Yeah, this is a long job description.
Yeah, so it's very
It is.
comprehensive. Did you come up with this or was this a blend of?
I said this meeting. I went back and forth with the document over the past couple of days. She took. I had something that I'd written about family that we often I think in charity for you. And then earlier this week when we got the plane flight, because she had sort of their model description of the person who oversees the break program, and she and I have been mushing the two together.
So does that mean that if it was 49,000 for half a year, that it would be 100,000 for a full year?
No, the salary of the person will be 50,000 for the whole year.
Oh, so that's prorated.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
So it's a 50,000. It's 50, 60, but assuming we're going to use the teacher.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm glad you clarified that because I was on the impression the grant for the first 6 months was this amount, and then if we got the grant,
Got
that for the next. So thank you.
sure.
Yeah, I really like the idea of using the teacher scale or starting to work on a scale. It's not necessarily the teacher scale so that there's a consistency and that it's really clear for people to how everything is. I didn't see attendance. I skimmed it. I read it really quickly.
Let me just double check.
So if you could just double check. And actually, I suppose what I would ask is that, just double check the 4 things that you wrote so clearly about in your report.
Mhm.
Just sort of do a skim to make sure all 4 things landed in a way that you're happy with in here. And I suspect as you do that, there may be a couple of points here that you can actually If you're looking for the space, if you don't want to go out of 2 pages.
Like,
Yeah,
some
I
of
think you can consolidate
I
some.
think so too.
I think you'll find that as you're going through that.
To her point, your 4 points were excellent. So if they're not in there, that's a good catch.
And that's a way to screen it.
Yeah.
I think that in terms of sort of working conditions aren't in here yet. It's a school year position. I'm guessing is it similar to teachers'
Yeah.
working conditions in that they're going to be expected to work some after hours, but not, you know, to be really deliberate. And I hope that is. Because, you know, families are 24/7.
Right.
So some flexibility, I think would be really useful, but not so much flexibility that they're gonna unscreen the job.
Right. Okay. That's a good suggestion.
Are you looking to entertain a motion to, create this?
So one other things, I think it would be good for you to find, let's two of you are done. I mean, this is just basic, you'll do it anyway. Just have somebody else read it.
For sure.
So yes, I think I'm ready unless anybody else has food. Did you have one in there? You
No,
look like you had
sure.
one bubbling.
Well, I move that that we approve the right coordinator family liaison, position. As presented. I'm gonna leave this all open so that I'd like to include that in the motion for the 26, 27. I don't know if I want to say school year, but for beginning
Kid.
in, when are we gonna start?
Do you want to say something about through December 31st? Let us more, like, I know that you were thinking about this
Yeah, that-
specifically. You know, assuming class war grant funding is,
Well,
Or you'd have to-
extension beyond December
Well, you're-
31st contingent on.
I think we might say, that would terminate in such and such, one of the date is December 31st, unless additional funding
that's
is in place to continue. So we have a beginning, we actually have a definite end, but we also have a continuation if the funding's there.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would it help if he restates his motion?
Do you want me to, can I repeat it?
Yeah, please,
Motion
fix it
to-
up.
The Bright Coordinator Family Liaison as presented, through December 31st, 2026, unless additional grant funding is secured.
okay.
Position, right, coordinator family liaison, is a full-time position.
Okay.
Full-time position.
Was there okay?
I second.
Please, any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
That's unanimous.
Thanks. Thank you everyone
Yeah,
for
thank you.
your support.
I really appreciate it.
President,
Thank you for coming.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And it's fun.
Right. It's all coming together. Thanks so much. And Louise and Alan, I'll see you on Friday. That's.
yes, you will, at 2:00,
Appreciate it.
and you're forward to your words.
So we'll be inside with this one, that decision.
Oh,
Yes, Friday's gonna be
The
wonky.
index is 92
Oh,
for the time on the.
really?
I think I'd rather come than vote.
Yes.
You're welcome to come.
I think I gotta have a graduation at 9 in
Send
the
me
morning.
home.
Why aren't we doing it in the afternoon? Why aren't we doing it like 9?
It's like,
Open the windows.
So I gotta be so flexible with that. I jumped on
All the time, of course. Hey, so, I'm gonna go back to the agenda just to tick on down it, and we do have hard stop a little past 6. But I think we're doing okay. So, Carol and I did write the agenda with sort of the spots in mind if we do the dated by 6.
So you're all set, and since that's the next thing on the agenda, I move that we approve the May 27th minutes as
We can
written.
do that next
We get a
week.
second, and then if we can have discussion on that.
second.
Any further discussion? Doesn't have anything to mention. All right, all in favor of approving the minutes?
Aye.
And that is unanimous. The minutes of May 27th are approved. Any, and I know we don't have, well, we do, any public comments or comments from the public, folks want to share? I know I have a little something that somebody else. I had a conversation with somebody today that, I think what I took out of that is I would like to work towards making sure that both our agendas and our minutes are a little bit more available to the public. I think that will actually save us some public comments in the long run. I was asked questions about a couple of different things. I'm like, oh, either we just talked about it, or we're talking about it tonight, or we're talking about it in 2 weeks. So I just wanted to get a sense of what. We have a YouTube channel. I have to admit, I haven't checked to see if people are putting everything there.
I'm a couple behind on that, but
When that is no longer the case, maybe we could just publish a huge rush. Although I think our topic at our next meeting will probably be something folks will want to see, or some of them.
So YouTube would be the way to get to
Get to our,
agendas and minutes.
well, it would be the way to get to our videos, and then agendas and minutes, I would think we could find a way to the website.
Yeah.
To put that.
I was under the impression you always have to, the approval just posted on minutes on the website.
They haven't been.
Oh.
And if it's easier to do it on the town website, we can do it on, there is a function for the town website. So do you want to check with Carol and see if she has preference? Whether we go town or school?
She's eaten. I mean, we could even do both.
I was just going to say that.
Yes, we certainly could do both, and we could have one point or the other.
Yeah. I mean,
But in
they're
terms of,
written and approved there, you know.
yeah, they're public and they should be
Just posted in both places.
but there's really, we don't need to host them in both places. We can have them like posted in one spot, and we can have the other one say, this is where you click this button, you get 2 minutes. But it's,
A link on the other
yeah,
place, yeah.
yeah.
So the concern was they would like to see our agendas, our minutes available.
Yes.
Okay.
do they want to see the agendas before the meetings to see if they
I
want?
think that that would be something I'd love to work towards. So that if somebody's got a question, they can then see, well, it depends on how often they look. But if they're looking a couple days before all of our meetings, they'll know whether or not it's an answer.
Right, or is it something they want to see like on the alternative or something? It's gonna get back to that whole struggle of everybody digests content very differently, so.
I mean, we are posting them publicly in the one spot we're required to, which is the one spot not that many people go and check out unless they happen to be there posting something else. So there ends up being a small cadre of folks who look at them because they're already there putting their thumb on something else. But I think if it was on the website and we just let people know that it's there. So the same question about agendas is. Which we're sure.
As soon as we made we were always gonna have the agenda ready 48 hours in advance. We always do. If Carol were just one of the people who was receiving it, she's very quick at posting.
So if that works for her, that would be great.
When as soon as would you mind just putting her on the list of people who's receiving? That way she'll get the approved minutes. And she'll also get the upcoming agenda, and she can figure out somewhere to put it. Why don't I tell her Carol Holtzberg and I'll just let her.
HOLTZ, did you say Holtz? Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Let's tell her.
Yeah. And if she says for some reason she would prefer to have the town more actively involved because of timing.
I don't know. She's very quick and efficient. Okay, so Carol.
Because what I'm learning about the town website is that John actually can train and give people permission. So select board minutes actually can be posted by the person who writes them. It doesn't have to be him. He's a smart man who was motivated to do it. So anyway, so that's my feedback.
Yeah, that sounds good.
I suppose the next one is Maya. I think that's it. We do have. think that's all I've got. I don't think I have necessarily any specific list of updates for that, so. Your turn.
So, it has been a super busy week because I've been seeing the mural. And so, just see the mural.
Or you've got to look.
You got.
You gotta go out the door. to
It's
look.
just-
It's amazing.
It's up on that wall.
Yeah, I saw what was gonna be in the start of it, but I didn't see the.
No.
finish.
Just take a minute.
Just.
Yes, take a minute. You can see it from here, so.
Yeah, I'm gonna use this opportunity to close my eyes. because I'm looking.
It's all. It's probably something.
It's not like
Already. I'm just gonna be give it 24 hours before instead of 48 hours before. It's just, it dragged out. So I had to, and I entered. Just could. This is being recorded.
It is.
Not worried. Say anything. We're just having technical difficulties with one of the tests. Like, oh. That's why you don't do things this way. Did Susan put that up herself, Diana, or did she have
I don't know.
some help?
I think she had help.
Is it so,
No, actually, I think,
there's not a single crease anywhere and that box is covered and it's just
she painted the box,
amazing.
but they did it just before Ren's graduation party, which was here.
Mhm.
So actually, I think her son did it. I think Justin's both. It was cool to have it up for Ren's graduation. No, oh, family there.
Bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would really love to do. I mean, I feel like at a minimum, we need to have a plaque there. With who the artist is, when it was done, you know, the involvement of the students of classes.
Yeah,
That's.
Yeah, a little paragraph about it.
But I would love to do either a book with pictures and descriptions or a short video or something about the making of it. Because you two probably know, because you were in the school, just how involved the kids were. And how, you know, not only in actually painting parts of it, but in the creative process.
Yeah.
But it's not obvious to the layperson.
No.
Because it'd be like, oh, you got a professional muralist, look at that, that's cool, it's got little touches specific to the school, I can see that, but. It doesn't quite get to the whole. How impressive.
Yeah, kids learning how to plan out something like that and execute it and paint it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Diana.
No apology needed.
I just,
That is just amazing.
like you haven't seen it, like you gotta see it.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna try.
I stood there and stared at it. And I was lucky enough to be here one Saturday when they were. To see the work on it just a little bit and to see how involved the kids were in the process, that's what I was starting. The kids helped design like some of the pathways and some of the artistic parts of it. They did it in the context of other artists. And then some of the little stories and little bits and pieces of their artists were pretty cool.
Oh, very well, very nice. Was it, who was it, who was the artist?
Susan Martian.
Oh, just this one. That's what I thought.
Well, she's the coordinating artist.
Yeah. well,
Yeah.
That's what I meant.
Yeah.
There's 30-something artists. Yes.
So. Well, updates, this coming summer. We're at our second fundraiser to support the new playground, judges. It's gonna be at the town hall, and their focus, we're certainly still trying to raise money. but their focus of this particular fundraiser is getting a lot of in-kind support. So we have a big photos of some of the components that we're going to be building over the next year. And what we're hoping to do is to get people to sign up to help actually. So the first one was very much about raising money. We still need to raise money. This is like to just be sure everyone in the community knows about it and sees a way to participate.
That's great.
We've got a big grant going in next week or the week after. Alexis is gonna be a big helper with that. This is providing the first week of those. He's such a good one earlier this spring. But I think just please watching. Yeah, feel it this time. So I'm trying to really get like new schools connections. We have sorted out we've maxed out our involvement in the innovation portfolio. There's another portfolio I'm trying to get us into called Teaching Reimagined, which brings money to the school and the district to help other schools and help schools think creatively about talent management. So we have a lot of really creative ideas for finding exceptionally talented people. So I did one application, we didn't get it, but I'm determined with this one too. When we had the community exhibition, the other two, we had the person who oversees Teaching Reimagine come to the exhibition. Diana had a chance to. I just printed the little email and he said when he left. So the training was and he building this. Yeah, I would be interested. I haven't had a chance to debrief with you. You have any
The poor fellow introduced him to me right in front of the mural, and it was only like the second time I had seen it. So I talked the poor guy's mural, which you might be able to tell me now. But no, I mean, wonderful fellow, and he was clearly watching everything, which was really good to see. Oh, but no,
let's see, that's a very cool thing that I wanted to bring forward. One student, we were planning to be in kindergarten. They just had an IEP. Was decided that this child will do another year. So I was hoping to open another school choice. But I certainly want to talk about seek your approval if that sounds good.
Okay, to bring the kindergarten enrollment up to where we were planning. Okay.
No, the other thing, I had a chance to read my report. We now have 28 school choice students for next year.
So 28 school choice,
Wow.
27 residents.
Next year we have 75. Let's see, we have 15 kids in preschool.
How many?
28 kiddos. There's some work going on. We should have definitely have
32.
Thank you. 32.
32 what?
32 or 33?
30 must be 32.
32, got your right.
32 of town Warwick students.
28 choice.
Well, that's
50.
That's
Does that include the 15 kids in preschool? Like, aren't some of those kids in the 32?
So,
They're all our preschool are out of.
no, some of those preschool kids are all Warwick residents.
So they're counted in the 32 as well.
They're counted in the 15.
They're
and
not counted in the 32, so we have 32 students K through 6 from Warwick.
Or some in preschool.
And then some pre-K students from Warwick.
I
Yeah.
can think of how many are.
So they're not counted twice.
They're not counted twice.
Right.
Yeah.
Currently enrolled for September 1st, it's 75. It's nice.
And that's the 15, the 32, and the 28.
Yes,
And you want to make it 28, 29.
I want to make the 28, 29. Right. Yes. Yes.
For kindergarten.
For yes.
Right, right. So that would mean 12. The 11 member would become 12.
That was, there were 14 kids in pre-K now, there's gonna be 15. So, one student who was accused of Warwick saying he's repeat, he's gonna go to pre-K. Does that make sense?
So we'll be adding one kindergarten slot, and of course, we still have 5 open slots in Warwick.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah. Oh, I know what Diana was. Yeah, so there is a student who we have interest in one particular family that I think would quickly, it has a 4th grade sibling.
whether or not the 4th grader would also come here, we don't know, but.
Well, I guess that they want 4th grader to come,
Oh, they have.
so that would be helpful.
Families also want their kids to go to the same school. I can
Yes.
pull it up.
Yes.
So I would defer to your professional judgment in and knowing the composition of the kids. Because it's not just about numbers, it's about meeting the needs of the 11 and the services and the level of attention that they'll need. And that adding another won't strain the program and the staff.
How many students will be in that kindergarten classroom?
Now, I think that now is 8. That's right. And there's going to, I think that's the class that has 2 assistants. Because of, like, currently in the JK, there's 2 assistants. Because there's exceptional needs that there's going to continue to be 2 assistants in that classroom, which is part of the reason that I feel like we can certainly check.
So with another student, kindergarten would be 15 or with.
This would not be another student, it would be the same number as we could play before. Yes, there's a great seat.
I didn't understand that. This would not be enough. We're adding another student.
No,
No,
we're basically, one of the students is gonna stay back for another year, so we're just.
oh.
Same number it is,
Okay. Got it.
We're just moving from
yeah.
Yeah.
So,
kindergarten line to the preschool line.
so that pre-K one is going to come up next year as a kindergarten,
Yes.
the following year.
Yep.
So what are you?
We're just shifting.
So looking for a motion to allow an additional one school choice student into the preschool program. Open a school choice seat for the
Kindergarten.
for kindergarten. For the kindergarten program.
I'll make the motion. Do we make that motion?
We do it.
Okay,
Okay.
I make that motion that we open up the additional, good lord. It's Monday, right? Yeah,
Kindergarten.
kindergarten student, open up the additional spot. Sure.
And I will second. Very good. Sorry.
Hi.
So what is, can you remind me what the posting requirement is?
For
2 weeks?
So there isn't anything in the statute. I've been doing it for 2 weeks just because it seems like that's the right amount. So we put it on the website, we put it on the sign. And then I sent a personal email and just reached out in the past just to say you have 2 weeks and Carol Holzberg makes like a survey of folks register and that would take care of sorting that and we literally do it. So you don't have to do that to save the first students as well. We open that seat on Friday and then close it to his front. Right?
I need to vote.
All those in favor, kind of thing, right?
Yes. All those in
Yes.
favor?
Yes, aye.
Yes,
Aye, unanimous, thank you.
That's all.
cool. That's wonderful. Where we have. Oh, 3 more than. 4 and 4.
Every little bit helps, right?
And actually, I think we've gotten to the point where we're like, all right, we wanted to get to here,
Yeah.
sure, by 6 o'clock,
Right,
and it's
right.
not 6 o'clock yet. Um, so what, and like, rest your voice for just a minute. And I will say that I have not discussed, I haven't caught Kate yet to talk about the retreat, but I will be doing that by the end of this week. Well, at least reach out to Kate and to, I used to say your name.
Kim,
Thank you, sure. Had the wrong name coming in my head.
That's a good.
But what I've been kind of thinking, and I want to get a sense of the group here, is that, well, one, we don't have the budget we've had in the past since we're losing new schools. Kim is also busier than she has been in the past. So I think my suggestion would be to at least reach out to the 2 of them with an initial suggestion of maybe a half day where Kim is remote. To help us connect last year's goals and start drafting next year's goals, and spend the other half day with all of us in person, including Kate, to flesh out those goals, maybe do a little bit of, review and I want to talk with Kate and to all of you about what topics would make sense while it was those of us in person.
and Kate might have some ideas about how to do that half day because she's done that kind of
Exactly,
work.
exactly. So
Yeah.
that's kind of what I'm thinking, but I'm looking for any suggestions, feedback, pushback.
That sounds like a good plan.
Yes,
Okay.
Yeah.
My recollection is we were definitely talking about the week of August 10th, and I remember there being some pushback on both the Monday and Friday that week. So I'm looking at Tuesday, the 11th, Wednesday, the 12th, Thursday, the 13th as the 3 potential days.
We usually meet on Wednesday, so that might be
I know.
good. to-
But Kate is then working Tuesday, Thursday. So
Okay,
I figured I would put all 3 days at
Sure.
the table and ask if anybody has objections to any of those 3 days. So, yeah.
the 10th, okay, I have something on August 9th, so. Yeah, can you do that? Ruth? Yeah,
That's where I'm at.
so you're aiming 11, 12, or 13?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, half a day with Kim, with her being remote, and the half day with, just person.
and the time should be, was that like at 9 o'clock or 9:15? So
We've done like 9 to 3.
9 to 3.
That's what we've done in the past. But if Kim says, well, I need to start at 8:30 and be
Yeah,
done by
whatever.
such and such, then I will
Yeah.
fix. Because that would be great to have come again.
Okay.
So, next meeting date so far is June 24th. We've got a hiring process policy review on there, which is the thing I asked for, and I had given out a sample policy. MASC, and it's almost exactly the same as Shutesbury is doing. I'd like to-
This is the policy you're talking about, the professional
Yes,
staff hire.
yes. And I don't want to try and address that today, but I'd like to put that out.
Okay.
We'll have a budget update, of course, transfer approvals to do, because it is the 24th of June. In 2 weeks. And Louise, you had a suggestion about the school committee engaging in the conversation about regionalization as a general concept rather than specifically Sixtown, and really start talking about
We were gonna
all the things that associate
hold
with that.
until the next, because I'm not gonna be here. for
And
next-
not the 24th,
Right,
we're
right,
going to be on it.
right.
So let's, I know Miranda's not here, but do we want to talk about just every 2 weeks continue to work, and we set for the date after that? So that we know what.
You mean project forward and.
Project forward to the date after the 24th, and that would then be the date we start. I would like to say that our regionals,
That'd be July 8th.
our regionalization discussion, I would suggest being a multi-parter,
Multi what?
multi-part, not necessarily just one meeting.
Yeah.
Won't be here the 28th.
On the 8th,
Yeah,
You will not.
they will not.
Well, let's have a little space in July, and go to the
Well,
15th. Take a little time
15th
off.
and the 29th.
Yeah. What's that thing?
did those both work for me? All three, at least all of us here.
And,
Does that work for you, Adam?
Yeah, I'll be
Okay.
back.
Warwick School.
and maybe only one holiday,
Warwick,
July
the 15th?
15 and July 29.
Okay,
And then one in August. Do we only need one in August? Because we're then gonna have the retreat.
they may want to have, which school start? They might want to have one before, like, something like the 19th. Before school starts.
Yeah, let's
How
let's
do
go
we
with the
like-
15th and the 29th, and then once I reach Miranda, maybe we can even do an email discussion with the rest. of the
Yeah.
Okay, so upcoming student community meetings, July 15th, July 29th. And then your board retreat date was between August.
11, 12, or 13.
Yeah,
That makes sense, okay.
Yeah, so.
Yeah,
if
you
we
can
have
put a thing out.
also a school committee meeting in August.
oh, yes,
Later than that, that might be hard for me because
okay,
I,
Later
the
than
last 2 weeks of August, I'm basically not here.
Oh. Well, we could have it, once you talk to her about what day on the 11th, 12th, or 13th, we could just make it one of those other days. If she wants the 12th, we could do the 11th. If she wants the 13th, we could do the 11th or 12th, you know? This, if it makes sense, just make that sort of flexible and have it not one of those days,
Yeah,
the three that we're
right,
gonna do.
right, and that's
and at
just,
this point, we'll have two other people to reach out to,
Yeah.
Miranda and Kate, so
Yeah.
I don't want to.
that's good.
All right,
Any topics that folks would like to see for our next meeting on the 24th,
Other than what you've got down.
other than the hiring process? Policy and budget date, anything else?
are we doing anything with onboarding with the new superintendent? Should we? And I'm thinking out loud, because I
Yeah.
haven't even thought about
You know,
this.
that's a good idea, because and it also fits in with our discussion of regionalization if we end up having more town people. So we're talking about how we got to where we are. Is one aspect of onboarding. Now, Kate has been here 2 or 3 times on Fridays in terms of working with the staff.
I was thinking governance wise, like onboarding in terms of support that she would need, or what her ideas, what her entry plan would be. We could say, could you bring like your thoughts about your entry plan as you come, into the district? So, we can hear what her stuff would be like with the staff and the community, and then have some input into helping her
Set that
get
up.
acclimated.
Yeah.
And set that up. So that I was thinking more along those lines
Okay.
on onboarding, but a better word for that. That's all.
Okay.
Go.
Well,
Have a conversation.
I'm gonna
with
try to
her.
have, I'll have a conversation with her and bring that back.
Yeah.
Carol, and of course, the 24th will also be Carol's last school committee meeting. For a little while anyway.
Don't look happy.
Gonna miss you, Carol, that's for sure.
you will have, at least finalized your evaluation will be there.
Sure.
And if you think of any other topic.
So we're gonna-
Talk about it.
So we're gonna do this.
So let's say, so you have your initial.
Yeah.
Self-evaluation here. I hadn't gone so far as doing, an input form like we did last year. But it'll be very easy to update last year's input form. We did a Google form last year, where everybody could type in there once we got there.
Well, that's what this,
I thought I filled something out.
this looks like a Google form printed out.
Yes, but that's last
This is.
So you're
last
just
year's?
giving it to us as an example.
year's. Exactly.
And wanting us to see if we want any modification to it. Got
Well,
it.
because the,
I just noticed the date on it.
Wait a minute.
yes,
Are we
and the,
talking about this one?
no.
That's fine. But it's last year's form.
Oh. Oh, that's
It's actually-
interesting.
So it needs to be edited to match the goals for this.
Right. Oh,
I don't know where my
You would
brain.
also
Oh,
want to
so
talk
next-
a little bit,
No,
looking
check-
ahead to
check
goals for
boxes.
next year. You have something.
Exemplary. I thought there was a document we
So
had.
why don't you, I give you the floor.
I don't know, did I give it on?
That's.
Do the whole of it. Yes. Okay.
Is that?
Is there anything you wanted us to talk about in terms of, goal setting for next year? You had some spot of something coming up next year.
It certainly have some questions.
Okay.
Okay. And everywhere over here. What I was gonna say about this time. Is. We're just, I mean, we know it's time soon. Okay. I don't think any of you guys feel like what I'm saying to me, it's like. Like me, just like there's he's getting a reading, but there's like tons of evidence. So I don't know if without
Certainly, it's only 5 of us, 2 but narratives.
it's happening. Just to
We can have,
so say you choose proficient instead of exemplary. Just to say a little bit about why, like this is what it would take to move to exemplary. Or if it is exemplary, why? Or if it was needs improvement, like what's the reason? And would you like to? How would you like to see it?
that's very helpful. Thank you.
Okay, sure.
So I missed the first part of that. You want to see another column on here? Is that what you're saying? To
Just to put, so what we'll do is we'll put a narrative section in there. So that everybody will be able to put in their own words what it would take. Or what feedback there is, or some backup on why it's exemplary, why it's proficient, why it's.
Right, so what I did, not having that direction, is I looked at what your self-evaluation, and then I put, if I agreed with it, like proficient, or if you thought it was proficient and I thought it was exemplary, then I would cross it out. So I just went through and added that. So how are we,
Well,
are we
did
supposed to
last year.
rate that?
We had an online form so that we
Yeah.
could more easily combine
Okay,
all of our feedback, because it's gonna be one unified
Yeah.
response, one unified evaluation.
what I struggle with is the overall. Because you get there and it's like, well, it's halfway between exemplary and proficient. And do we have numbers on that? Is that how we did that? So that we
I
would,
can put numbers.
I think if we did, that would make it much better. So exemplary, if that's 5, then are there 4 categories or? Then it
yeah,
would be
it's more
easier.
than other.
Yeah,
It does have to be like that. All right,
no, but for us, we could have 4, 3, 2, 1.
sure.
And so
And what would
exemplary is
that
a 4.
benefit?
Well, the benefits is that when we have to do our overall,
Yeah,
then if a 4 is exemplary. And then we add them all together and let's say we're at 3.4,
oh,
then we know we're
right.
proficient. Which is like being really good and moving toward the exemplary.
So I think we did some of that last year. That kind of number crunching with our, I think we did apply numbers.
I remember doing it for interviewing candidates and stuff. I don't remember
Oh,
We
maybe
may-
that's what
maybe-
I'm remembering. It could very well be that I'm remembering that.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
numbers that we use for,
But yeah, so doing that here, yeah, that sounds good.
just because I
Add
struggle
them
with.
up. Yeah.
So when I get all through, if I had a couple of proficient, a couple of exemplary, you know what, and then I have an overall.
Yeah.
I. Have to put,
Mhm.
do you? Your thoughts on that?
No thoughts at all on
So are you hoping for numbers just for number 10, or would you, or would you super helpful to have anywhere else?
Say that again?
Having access to a numerical scale just for number 10? Or are you thinking it?
What was number 10?
Or whatever the last
They're all
one is, the opens? Or were you thinking of having the opportunity to? And I think Jess will have to go online to Desi and stick with these.
Oh, yeah, for that purpose.
But are you looking for the opportunity to have a sliding scale more than that, or is the open response enough?
it. I think he's referring to each of them, that way he can tally them all up. and
Yeah.
Average
Yeah.
them across,
Okay,
And then when I get to the bottom, I can just fill in the average.
as long as we agree on the number scale in terms of like, Alan's gonna have, well, 4.25 on it, some of
But you
his.
can't do that because it goes to 4.
Well, you know what I'm
I
saying.
know what you're saying.
So adding them together, we might get fraction, but
Oh, then you
Right.
divide.
we're gonna use whole number.
No, I get it. No, what I'm saying is, do you do a 4 or 5, or you do a 4.5, or you doing?
Yeah, I know
Being
what you're saying.
slightly facetious, but at the same time, as
No,
long as
you're
we're
right,
all in
because I
agreement
might
on.
put 3.5.
Oh, you would.
Yeah, because they're halfway between the proficient and the, the exemplary. So,
You wanna have us be able to put fractional numbers in,
well,
He does.
decimals.
in
but-
addition to, well, decimals are fractional.
Yeah. I want to add fractions. I don't want to, I still want to add fractions. I want to add decimals.
Portion
Yeah, that's it.
of a whole number
Good.
Slices.
into I thought you meant that we would use whole numbers, but then when we added up yours and Diana's and mine's and Miranda's, et cetera, that there might be some partial numbers. Because we're adding up and
I know,
dividing.
I know he's gonna wanna do like 3.5.
Right, so do we want
Just
to,
knowing Alan.
that's the
Yeah, if
question.
you decide not to, then I'll just do a 3 or a 4 and go into a box. I don't, whatever.
Oh. Yeah, so that,
I'm fine.
if we have that option, I would probably do that as well. But if we want to give that option, I would suggest that it's only a 0.5 choice between the whole numbers. Not 2.5,
Okay.
not 7.5.
I like that.
Don't go that far.
I like that.
If
It's either a
people are
3,
not
3.5 or
comfortable-
a 4.
Yeah,
Good.
right, we're not gonna have any 2s or 2.5s.
So we can have those fractions.
Or 1s or 1.5s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I like that. That's a great suggestion.
So that means that 4 turn into 8.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So didn't you struggle when you were trying to get between, what, is it proficient or is it exemplary?
Yeah,
Somewhere,
I just said that.
Yeah.
If we have that choice, then I would
Yeah.
probably make use of it.
All right, so I'm gonna look to actually get that tool done, and I think Miranda did this tool last year, so I may work, see if I can get her to work with me.
Well, it's still a Google form, right?
Yeah, I
So
can
you
just
can
take the Google
modify
form.
it. Yeah,
So I'm gonna look to take that feedback and do it. Carol is scooting off to a band concert.
Oh, nice.
He's playing the trumpet.
Your daughter's-
Like 5 weeks. This was my
Oh.
son. Past 2 weeks, everything has been my middle daughter. This is Silas.
Next.
This
That's
is
great.
on cost here.
so this is the next agenda.
Thank you all.
Nice job.
yeah, thanks, Brian. Thanks a lot.
See you soon.
Are we at it? Are we at
Need a motion to adjourn?
Yeah, sounds good.
So move.
second?
All in favor?
All right.
Hi.
At what time?
6 PM on the dot.
All right.